Yeah, what's happening? So here's the coffee talk happening. It's 4 in the morning. The cat's out hunting mice. The moon is pretty bright right now, so the cat's pretty fired up, which is cool. One thing I've noticed is animals are like the greatest thing ever. The cat just randomly showed up here, and I'm deep in the woods. But what I'm learning from it is like companionship and love from an animal. Maybe more than what I've actually been able to experience with humans and like my own reflection in those relationships with the humans. Because there's this just full, it keeps coming back to that word, but like unconditional love. The cat and I are looking out for each other out here. So we set each other up in certain ways, and he's a Bombay cat, which they're a whole different kind of breed. He's very similar to a dog, so he follows me everywhere I go. He stays within like a 6-foot radius when I'm doing things. So our hours are off, and so, because he hunts at night, and I'm doing stuff in the daytime, so he'll sleep on the bed in the daytime. And we get to like mingle here and there, but it's been really neat these mornings that I get up early, because he's excited to show me what he's doing and what he's hunting and where he's hunting. And so I follow him around, and yeah, it's just been really cool because I was pretty much traumatized from cats as a kid. We had, at one point, there were 12 cats in our house, and so they'd pee on your clothes, and you go to school, and like whatever chick you had a crush on would be like, man, you smell funny. And you knew what the smell was, but you didn't want to say, oh, the cat peed on my jeans, or cat peed on my backpack. But yesterday was a really big day for me because I really, truly am starting to find forgiveness. But I have to like hold myself accountable for my own space. It's been so long dealing with the mental traumas from the past. Mostly because when you're a kid, you think your parents are gods. You look up to them. You don't realize that, like, shit, they got married at 20. What was their agenda? What did they even know? What had they done in life? Like, if they can't take care of themselves, how could they even take care of these kids? And you get to see that reflection now, seeing the way they are as adults. And I don't want to be perfect. I don't want to pretend that I'm perfect. I just want to be open and honest, so I don't have anything to hide when I'm meeting people, new people, when I'm talking to family or friends. I just have to put it all out there now, even if I'm totally wrong, because it's like there isn't really a right or a wrong. Like, who's really to say what's right or wrong? None of us really know what's going on. This is one pretty crazy experience, this life thing. So yeah, the cat's been amazing because the cat's outside all night, connecting to the earth energy, and I'm in here sleeping, and then he'll come back and he'll come and he'll lay on my stomach. And when my back went out and I couldn't walk, dude, you know how rad it was to feel that energy? It was like the cat was looking out for me, just like when he got in the fight, both fights with the skunk, and having to make sure that he healed and his wound didn't get infected and all that stuff. It's great. So like what I'm realizing out here is there's the external things, go do this, go make money, you're disabled, you're, all these boxes and this and that. But where the real joy taps in, it doesn't matter if I'm on some crazy surf trip in Australia, living in a van with a girl that I met in a parking lot in Canada. It doesn't matter if it's that or if it's just getting up to do chores, lighting a fire. Wherever you are, you're where you're supposed to be. And I told my really good friend Simon, because he has to go experience all these certain things that, a lot of people think if you're a professional surfer, a professional skateboarder, or musician, that it's this rad life. Man, it's kind of the opposite, because you're forced to perform and dance and like do all this stuff, and if you're not in tune and your body's not firing on all cylinders, and then your mentals aren't right, it can be stressful, and you could think, well, I want to be here, I want to be there, I got to do this, but I'm here. And I'm learning that wherever you are is where you're supposed to be. Kind of like each time you run from whatever, you're just putting on another jacket or another layer of clothing or another mask, I guess you'd say. But I'm just conscious at this stage in my life that my body, even with the stretching and the breathing, and that's why I'm up right now, is to reinvest in that for myself, and not be labeled as yoga or any kind of spiritual thing, especially not anything religious. Basically, I'm just trying to rubber band my body so that if I keep stretching and I'm conscious of, breathing and what parts of my body are hurting, maybe I can dive a little bit further into what could be causing that. And I noticed that every time I end up going down to my mom's for like more than 3 days, I come back, my body's just trashed from the stress. A lot of it's the frequency, like especially the refrigerator. Because out here, when the planes aren't flying, and nobody has like a generator going or anything, it's a silence that is where everything is. Like, you realize at that point, all of it's connected. And I think in certain things they call it prana or chi, but like, you can tap in so much more, breath-wise and mentally, to see this clarity of like what your thoughts are. So that's a huge reason why I get up really early to write the music and to do the different things that I feel I need to perform for myself, like the stretching, and enjoying a cup of coffee. I really, this time of year, enjoy doing all of this before the sun comes up, because you get such a long day. You get 2 shifts of like playing and chores, and just you get time to evaluate like yourself, and you kind of set the tone if you've already gotten up and put some energy into what's important, which is you. So I'm aware that I'm probably never going to figure all this stuff out, but it gives me something to do, keeps me excited, and we're slowly healing the body, but we're also 45 years old, and we're aware that lifestyle leading up to this was pretty gnarly. So enjoy the things like hanging out with the cat, and the fact that the chickens both, there's only 2 left. There were 3, but the golden girls, we got Dorothy and Rose left, and Blanche flew the coop. Almost got Blanche back, but she's too fast, and she hadn't been settled in to realize where her home was when she flew the coop. And so these girls now know, and last night they basically put themselves to bed, which was cool, because the cat likes to stay on that routine and make sure, everything's good. So it was cool to watch the cat. Just seeing this new thing of our weird homestead family, 2 birds and a cat, Chirp Chirp, and myself, and realizing that if I go anywhere, go chase these things, you're still avoiding that my home's here, and I finally have a home where I never felt like I had a home or a safe place ever in my life. And I've been out here now for 12 years. I've lived out here now for 10. But I started building my first cabin 12 years ago. Built it on the wrong piece of property, and I've literally gotten to walk on every inch of land, where I live and touch it and know what it is. So now it's just kind of the time to just be appreciative, even if I am on disability and there's these boxes I've fallen into from, my generational trauma, my own trauma, all of it. There's still a wave that I get to go surf, and I'm still aware of what's valuable, and it's the giving the love to the cat, giving the love to myself, making sure I'm eating well. We got berries coming out soon, and yeah, so I just wanted to say there's a good side of homesteading on disability, because you learn that if you can live off of $1,100 a month, you're going to be fine through anything. And eventually that $1,100, if you get enough supplies and you set yourself up, you could live off of $0 a month, and just have to pay whatever taxes you pay for your property and landowner association. And other than that, nature provides. So I feel very fortunate that I'm able to continually learn about all that stuff, and also harvest the different, seasonal medicines that are around here that the natives used for thousands of years. And we got a week and a half of sunshine, ish. No crazy rains, and a couple of days of good surfing. So I'm going to really find the balance in the chores and the surfing and the fishing. And there's my coffee talk. I already had the coffee. Put a little ghee in it. It's like cream, but it's all I have left. There's no milk. That's why I want the goats. We're going to get the goats eventually, or a little sheep, but it seems as though the Nigerian dwarf goats are going to be the easiest to maintain out here and to keep safe. And yeah, there's my coffee talk ramble. But the core part of what I'm saying is I don't think we're ever going to figure it out. So you just need to enjoy the ride, all of it, the goods, the bads, the meltdowns. You know that it passes, I kind of had a meltdown with my mom. There's always some kind of a meltdown, and I was able to see what the core reason is, and I've always struggled with people not taking accountability for their actions. So it's really forced me to have to learn to be accountable for my own actions. And I will never get an apology, like a real apology, from my mom or my dad, because they're just not. We're different people, and what life is to them is different than what it is to me. And now I get to just focus on those things for myself and realize that I'm just here to experience, and I'm lucky that I can make art or create stuff, build stuff. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an architect, a landscape architect as well, and I'm literally doing it. And I have free reign in ways to build, all this stuff that's out of trash, and now it's going to be all the stuff that's from the property. So yeah, a lot of gratitude. I know how lucky I am. Even if I can't really play the other game, like suburban home, I could never do it. I never would want to do it from my experience. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I'm realizing how lucky I am to be out here, and even if it wears me to the bone, the physical stuff, I would take this any day over what I was experiencing back growing up in Seattle, and I'm grateful for that, but that's all behind me, So, yeah, there's my ramble for today. It's like confessions of a loving soul who's trying to figure out more about himself, his dark shadows, everything, and showing that being vulnerable, I don't want anything in return. I'm blown away that we're even to 1,000 subscribers, and I've done whatever that was with the social media stuff and Instagram, and I don't want to do that. I just want to put out stuff that comes from my heart. So thanks for tuning in, and enjoy your day, like whatever your day brings, man. Ladies, whatever, cats, dogs, whoever you are, if you're watching this, there's good every single day. You just have to look at both sides of it, and I'm trying to appreciate both sides, because you need both of them. You wouldn't know what's good if you didn't know what was bad, or what's bad and what's good, and it helps you to realize there's always something that could just magically show up the next day and everything could change. So show up for yourself, keep your heart open, and your energy can shift and change at any point. How I was feeling yesterday, I feel completely different today. So let's just see what the day brings and keep up the radical all the way through whatever happens today. So thank you. Have a good day. Later. What about, I thought of this too. Out of focus could also mean the most in focus ever, because you're coming out of focus. When you do this, you're out of focus and in focus. So you come out of the focus into the focus. Or you're coming from being in focus into out of focus. There's my ramble. Have a good day.